For those of you guys that don't know, artist and creator of the MAXX, Sam Keith, passed away about a week ago. I've done a series of these live streams. Drawing a character that I used to draw all the time in school. One of my favorite comic book characters, and I think the most original character since then. It's been like 30 years or so. So in remembrance of Sam, I'm drawing this, and yeah, this is like the third or fourth stream I've done. I usually do a bunch of streams. I haven't done an actual like pinup in ages. I think I've been mostly just drawing like fight scenes and stuff like that, battles, like one-on-one stuff. But I felt inspired to draw this. I had a bunch of different ideas pop in my head, and this was one of them. So yeah, here we go. Right now, I'm just going to be erasing some of the stuff, and so I'm starting to add inks now. So I was thinking about adding colored pencils to it, but I think I'm going to pass on that and just do ink. Yeah, there we go. All right. Here we go. There we go. I like to usually wait a day to erase the inks. I usually use like this Pentel one right here is pretty cool, or a Moo eraser. But yeah, this one's just like crazy good. It's a high polymer soft eraser, and you can get this one off of Amazon. But it's cool to find like an art store that has a lot of them that we can kind of browse through them. If you guys are in Southern California, I recommend going over to Huntington Beach's art supply warehouse. They have everything there. They've been there for probably like 60 years maybe. And they have a website too, Art Supply Warehouse. You can get a lot of that stuff there. Yep. There we go. There's that. All right, here we go. Just kind of cleaning this up like that. All right, there's that right there. Okay. All right. There we go. Tonight I'm off. I got a new schedule now, so I haven't been doing these these late night streams as much. So I'm kind of adjusting to a new schedule, which is a good thing. All right. Start working on different stuff now. Doing this, working on 2 other comics too, so that's been pretty fun. And I got my Kickstarter going right now. HELWÄR, if you guys ever want to check that out, it's going to be up for another 40 days. Just over halfway funded right now, so I'm pretty confident I'm going to fund the book too. It's going to be the size of a heavy metal record, 106 pages, 106 pages long of story, black and white, heavy metal biker Viking epic. And the first 13 pages are up on the campaign. There's a link to a Google Drive. You guys can check them out. Check out what I have so far. Book's pretty much done. It's at the editor right now. It's going to do some minor tweaks. It's going to be a real like dirty kind of gritty book as far as the art goes. It's going to have lots of like coffee stains in it. It's going to look photocopied, and yeah, man, it's supposed to look like a band put it together. And I'm going to go in and add more stuff to it. I might even add like little tear marks in there and more coffee stains. I want it to look really kind of dirty. Just all part of the aesthetic. And the book after that, I might do a leather bound book. Just why not, right? Have fun with it. Have fun with printing. There's all kinds of stuff you could do nowadays. Not everything has to be manga size or American standard, with a 10x6. So it's just fun, I don't know if I'm ever going to actually make it another 11x17 comic ever again. I'm probably going to do magazine format going forward. I really just don't see the need. There's really no need to make them like more. Let's see here. How's it going, Mystery Luna? Thanks for stopping by. Hi, how you doing? Just cleaning up this piece of the MAXX right here, taking some of the pencils off. That way I can move my hand around it a little more without smearing it. Yesterday was pretty. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. The first, pretty wild, man. Just all this information out there. You can't really trust it because of April Fools. Pretty funny, but annoying. It's almost best to stay off the internet on April Fools nowadays. I had who was it? I had a fake James Hetfield DMing me on Twitter. That was funny. I was just playing along with them. He might be listening now. Either way, but thanks for hitting my likes, Hetfield. Yeah. But yeah, I was playing along with it for a while. Why would James Hetfield be fucking DMing me? I had like a like and a retweet on one of their. They're gonna be going to Vegas, I guess, and playing in Vegas. It's crazy. A lot of bands are gonna be playing in Vegas now. It's not like the old days. It's not like your Siegfried and Roy and your Wayne Newtons. Now you're getting Tool and Metallica, shit like that. It's pretty badass, actually. They just need to clean up their. They need to clean up their casinos. What I mean by that, they need to take the smoking there. You can barely breathe when you leave Vegas. It's like getting the con crud. No, this is the MAXX. He's fighting a bunch of is right here, and then he's got his Jungle Queen up there. Yeah, Julie Winters, his social worker / Jungle Queen. He's actually a figment of her imagination. It's a pretty wild book if you ever read it. It's also a cartoon that was on MTV back in the day. The MAXX. Highly recommend. By Sam Keith. At least the art was. He didn't write it. Yeah. He probably co-wrote a little bit of it, but not, he didn't write it though. But his visual storytelling is same as writing in some regards. If you don't believe me, go watch Primal. All right, there we go. It was I think it was a Loeb. I forgot the guy's name. Something like Wagner Loeb or some weird name. I forgot the writer that did the MAXX. Horrible names. Thanks for everybody for stopping by and hitting the like and the subscribing. I do appreciate that. I got a poll up right now. I'm going to be drawing HELWÄR, my character HELWÄR next, and I put up on there if you want to vote in the community for the Metal Cartoonist channel. It's who do you want me to have my character HELWÄR fight? You want it to be the Incredible Hulk? Do you want it to be Lobo? Or do you want it to be Thor from Ragnarok? And that's Ragnarok, the comic book. Walter Simonson's, not the Marvel movie. I like to keep things specific. I think it's funner. I went a little crazy with their hair right here. Not spoiling much of the MAXX, though. I've talked about it before. The MAXX, I'd love to see it take place like in the if I ever got a chance to do the MAXX, I'd like to do another take on it. He is a figment of her imagination. He's like her spirit animal, but I want to just kind of say fuck that and throw that out the window and just make him a pulp character and make him a real person and a real jungle like barbarian warrior. Why not, right? I won't be around though when the character comes public domain, but that's what I would do with it. Something like that, Yeah. There we go. I know it's sacrilege, but hey, heart wants what the heart wants. I would make him still homeless too and give him a split personality. That's probably what my story would kind of would be about. Split personalities. You could kind of flip it back. You could say that she was a figment of his imagination. maybe it's, you know, he witnessed certain things, and as a bum, as a homeless person living in the alleyways, he could have seen some stuff, you know, or maybe not, or maybe just leave it like that and kind of keep putting questions out there. People keep reading it, but I probably wouldn't do that. I'd probably take a lot of the mystery away in a certain regard and want to make him just a vigilante and pulp character, pulpy barbarian character like Conan, or, you know, something like that. I think that'd be fun. Can't have fun with this character though, man. It's supposed to be heady and dark, but nah, forget that. I want to put him on some adventures. You can still do stuff though with the pulpy shit. You can go dark, really dark. All right, I guess we got it cleaned up okay. I can start throwing some more pins on there. Let's see here. Starting to get a little hot in here. Put on my fan. Sorry, guys. I run hot all the time. One good thing about living in Southern California, though, you get the good weather and you can wear shorts like every day. That's what we pay for it out here. It's that good weather, that Mediterranean effect. All right. Let's see here. Probably gonna use a black one for now. Hope you guys are having a good day, by the way. Out there and reading, getting ready for Friday, huh? I just dropped a bunch of reviews too on the channel. I'm gonna do another review tomorrow. I'm doing the Spawn Dark Ages with Liam Sharp. The last issue was pretty crazy. Hey, what's up, Tim Olson? How you doing, buddy? Thanks for stopping by, man. Hope everything is good with you. All right. Let's see here. I need to get another one. Yes, sir. Yeah, I got some reviews coming up. All right, I did some already. Bunch of books dropped. That new Conan was fucking awesome, dude. By Roy Thomas and the Robert De La Torre, man. He's one of my favorite new artists ever, like the last few years. He actually plotted the story and did the inks of it, you know, first one. And then Roy Thomas did the script, so it was good too. It was like it was a nomadic story. I highly recommend it, guys. Go pick it up. It's like $6. They had a Solomon Kane story in there too, which was it was a silent one, you know. So thing is, for some reason with Solomon Kane, they don't want to share him too much. They pretty much just have Zurcher, whatever his name is, doing it. He's good, but it's like I'd like to see Kelly Jones do it. He'd be perfect. Yeah, I'd like to see Kelly Jones on that shit, or Mike Mignola would be sick. That's gonna be that's like the next book that I want to get, man. Is the omnibus of Solomon Kane. Yeah, man. Solomon Kane is the shit. One of my favorite Robert E. Howard characters. He's got so many that are good, though. So many. Conan's my favorite though, man. It's hard for me to top that one. Like, yeah, real hard. He's pretty cool. Yeah, it's interesting. They actually took it to the east this time. Most of the Conan stories don't take place in the east. A lot of them are out in the desert, which they they're kind of work good out there. Seems like he's only got one actual story where he's on like the side of Samaria. It seems like. So it's kind of cool seeing him go over to the east. They're doing that more. I've noticed with the new story a little bit, kind of leaning over there with the pastiche stuff because, yeah, he never went over there. It's kind of like free reign, I'd love to do a Conan story before I die too. One Conan story, one Solomon Kane. Yeah, I'll probably write some just to have them ready, and then maybe I'll submit them before I die, so I can try to illustrate them. Yeah. Sometimes they take that. Let's see here. Face smashed hammer. Sick art. Oh, thanks, brother. Thank you. Hey, how's it going, K-pop? Thanks for stopping by. Swin A7X AI art. No, this is me. If you go back, you could see me draw it live pretty much. Yeah, I'm not down with the AI, man. Yeah, I hate AI, man. I'm sorry. I get caught looking at it though sometimes, and I know a lot of my homies use it, for their art and stuff. But yeah, that's not me. I try to do everything with no AI. Actually, I don't use any AI. Tempting, but no. Not for art, anyways, but for like a trailer. like a trailer. I was gonna do one of those for my comic. It was so tempting. I could have really done something cool with it, but I didn't want to do it for my Kickstarter. Like, nah, I gotta keep it kind of gangster and do it OG. Gotta keep it reals. Keep it 100 human art. Yeah. Let's see here. You mean with skill? AI is fun to play with, but it's not art. Yeah. No, like I said, I get caught. I'm like everybody else, dude. I get caught watching those Conan the Barbarian AI videos, or Ninja Turtles versus Street Sharks. That popped up, I'm like, because you could kind of see, bro, that like, let's say 30% of the AI stuff, the concepts, where it looks real, that's kind of how it would look in a movie. We can all admit to that. Like, yeah, it would kind of look like that, like a lot like that, So for me, that's kind of cool. Like, oh, damn, that's how a Street Shark would look, or that's how Conan could really look if he wasn't Arnie or Momoa, And that's how he would look in a Robert E. Howard story, But then I got to like bitch smack myself like, shut up, Matt Burke. That's not good, But, there's a lot of stuff that, just my friends do that I don't agree with, but they're grown ass men and women, and that's their thing, Not gonna like hate them for it, It's kind of childish. Same thing with like politics and shit like that, I'm not doing that shit. I don't do politics no more. I don't want to hear it. That and religion, it's like it's not good. It rips apart friendships and families and businesses. So I'm just like, fuck that. I'm gonna talk nerd shit. I'll talk sorcery. I'm gonna watch some barbarian trash tonight. Maybe some like barbarian queen movies, something like that. There's a lot of stuff out there. I'm trying to stay away from the good stuff because those ones are easy to attain. Like Sword and the Sorcerer and Conan the Barbarian. Deathstalker, we all love those movies. Beastmaster. I want to find other stuff. I was doing a Conquest was on. I did that one the other night. That was about a month ago actually. really love that movie though. Horror. That's what you get when you get an Italian, horror director to do a sword and sorcery movie. It's like chef's kiss, man. Let's see here. Okay, AI is fun to play with. Okay, Leon Petrakova, F6D. Oh, your drawing is so cool, and you have skill. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by, and I really appreciate you guys stopping by and saying what's up. That's cool. And you guys hitting the like. That always helps, That always helps. And if you guys want to check out my comic book, it's up on Kickstarter right now. It's going to be up there for another 40 days. And if you want to back it now, that would be awesome too. It helps with the momentum of the book. Makes it, people are going to do it. I know some people told me they're going to back it on the last day, but definitely if you can, it definitely helps with momentum, and you just know that it's going to get peace of mind for people. But yeah, the book's done, and going to be going on some more shows and promoting. I got to reach out to some people, try to get on some shows, talk about it a little bit. It's always fun reaching out and getting outside my channel and hooking up with other people, talking with them. It's a blast. I don't really get to do it that much. It's like every couple of years. And there's a book. Yeah. Yep. So much stuff going on. Let's try to start a new diet tomorrow. I'll be getting big, man. I'm like Arnold Schwarzenegger size now, but fat. Not super fat, but putting on the weight, It's crazy. I'll sneak up on you. But I got a new schedule now, and it's a little easier. You got a somewhat of a set schedule. You could do more things. Like, I'm going to work out this time. I'm going to go to the gym at this time. I'm going to fast by this time. I'm going to work on my comics here. That type of stuff. All right. Probably going to leave this guy in the back. He's a giant, so I want him to be a little more like in the distance, like a mirage, and a little bit ethereal too. So I'm gonna wait on that one. You can do it, yes sir. Yeah, it's amazing how much weight you can use just by fasting. I'm sorry. If you kind of commit to it and then cut out a lot of certain foods, you lose a lot of weight. I think I lost like 20 pounds just doing that last year. And I wasn't even exercising really at all, just from switching up the diet and fasting, pretty much. I know this guy's got some crazy feet. They're really big. Okay. I really feel like Conan, the Savage Sword of Conan, had the best inkers, man. Like Akala and Chan. Some good shit. There's a book, I forgot, one of the guys I follow on Twitter, man, he posted some like an art book of one of the inkers. I think it was Chan. Looked great. He said it was like $15 on Amazon. I'm like, dude, we'll pick that up. I was scrolling through TikTok earlier tonight, and then someone busted out someone slinging a $9 Conan the Barbarian shirt with Arnold on it. It looked pretty cool. I was about to buy it too, just an impulse buy, Like, oh man, I gotta That looks pretty cool. Pick that up. All right. Start working on these little devils right here. Yeah. It's crazy too when like your schedule changes, you start getting really tired, you know. I wake up really early now, so I fall asleep early now. And having to drink coffee just to kind of do this stream, you know. Went and took the kids to see the Mario movie today, the new Mario Galaxy movie. I went and took them to see the last one. Love the last one. The new one was cool too. Was very well executed. Had some cool special appearances too, or actually just new additions to the team or the cast. Star Fox, he was pretty cool in there. He was in there for like few scenes. But yeah, man, I was falling asleep in the movie theater. I was just tired. Starts to catch up with you, man. Got to get those. Try to get those 7 hours in. Really do. It helps. It really does. But I'm also kind of in campaign mode right now, so my mind's always thinking about that in the background. You know, I'm a little better at it, like mentally, than I used to be, because I've ran like I've ran 3 campaigns before, so I've had like both successes and failures, so I know how to react to both of them. So, and that's like, you know, you don't want to check the numbers too much. You want to do like once a day. But they email you the numbers like twice a day. So, but yeah, I still like to go and check it out and see. And then trying to get creative with your social media advertising. It can be tricky. Tricky as well. And then you try not to be too annoying, you know. It's like, oh, there's Matt again, you know, promoting his book. But it's like, yeah, gotta be careful. But I'm only gonna be here, you know, every couple of years doing it, so at least that's a good thing. Eventually, though, I'll be putting out a book a year. That's my goal. 1 book a year. Like a 50-pager a year, like a 40 to 50 page floppy a year, like a 1 story. I think that would be cool. Let's see here. I went to see Hail Mary, Face Smashed Hammer. You want to see that, or did you see it already? You want to see it? Okay. Yeah, I hear it's pretty good. There's a lot of movies coming out this year that I want to go see in the movies. I want to go see. For now, like I mean. Yeah, dude, there's so many. Like, I want to see Werewolf by Eggers. I really want to see Masters of the Universe. Really, really, really. Like, that's the #1 movie of the year. Like, full stop. I want to go see Street Fighter. I also want to see Mortal Kombat. For some reason, the new Mortal Kombat movie got me less hyped, the new trailer. But the first one, I was more hyped. I don't know what it is. Now I'm more hyped for Street Fighter. For some reason. I don't know why. I've been getting a real, like, hankering to play some Street Fighter. I stopped playing video games like I think 5 years ago now. And then out of nowhere, it's like, no, I kind of feel like I want to play a video game. And I heard that they're gonna like remaster or remaster or remake Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. And to me, I think that's the best video game ever made for my money, you know. And I think they should do both. I think they should remaster the original, and then I think they should remake it with like new badass like Real Engine or whatever graphics, you know. Because yeah, you can, you know, it'll look great if they remaster it, and I think the old game is perfect that way. But I also feel that like if they remake it, I think they could do. There's a lot they could do with that, you know, whole lot. But I never got into the other games. I mean, I played Twilight Princess a little bit, then I kind of just lost interest. I didn't like the werewolf design. I would have rather had him as like a, you know, a bipedal wolf. He's just a quadruped the whole time. If I would have made him a wolf, he would have went through different variations of the wolf. I would have had like different versions of it. You know, he would have started out as a quadruped, then he would have turned into like a pug. You know, then he would have been a bipedal wolf. You know, I would have had like 4 or 5 different versions of that wolf. I think that really would have leveled up the game, to be honest. And I think a lot of werewolf fans would have loved that shit, you know? And now the movie's coming out. So excited for the movie. I was always hoping that I would see a Legend of Zelda movie before I died. And it looks like it's hopefully going to happen. And it's the guy that did the last Planet of the Apes movies and the Maze Runner films. The last Planet of the Apes was pretty good. But never seen the Maze Runner movies. But I do respect the guy. He takes a long time to make his movies, though. I guess he takes like 3 years. So, because usually they have a lot of, at least the ape movie had a lot of CGI. Yeah. So I'm thinking he's going to be taking a long time on the Legend of Zelda movie as well. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, 9 likes. You guys are awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah. I hope my schedule stays the same for a while, because I just got a lot of stuff planned I want to do on this channel, man. I want to start doing a lot more things. I want to start. I like doing this type of draw streams, but I also want to maybe have one where guests come on and we draw a little bit. We'll see. See how that works out. Kind of want to do a funny little lip thing right here. Yeah, there we go. Like Elvis, you know? Get that lip up a little bit. Gotta have fun when you're drawing, guys. No. I'll color this in right here. Just like that. There we go. Right. All right. This one with his mouth closed a little bit. There we go. And it's amazing how many good movies are on Tubi. It's annoying. It's like you pay all this money for like HBO Max and Netflix and whatever else you got, Paramount, and then you look over on Tubi and they just have all kinds of stuff that you don't even know about. They have all this impulse watching stuff like, oh, what's that? Boom, boom. Hey, what's up, Drawn Sword? Thanks for stopping by, brother. Oh, a fine liner, poof, and ink pages, kind of like a number 2 or number 3. Ooh, let me think. I would say probably 3 pages tops, dude. Probably 3 pages tops. But me and you, we use a lot of lines, dude. So we, you know. But I don't really use those anymore, man. I only use this, and like I'll use them sometimes just like for randomization, But I don't really use them that much anymore. To come to think of it, I just use these, and yeah, I'll just use also random stuff too. Like I get the Dollar Tree, I got these too. I don't think these ones like is a multi-liner, but I don't really use it that much. And I think when it dries, it dries kind of like at a weird kind of like purple black or pinkish black. It's fucking weird. And then this one's kind of similar to these. It's just like a dollar one, But yeah, I've been just stocking up on those. And yeah, I just have like these ready to go, They come in these 2-packs, like $5.49, Hobby Lobby. Yeah. These are brush pins. Yeah. Brush pins. There's just so much you could do with them, Like you can go fine in there. I like them because of what you can do with the line quality. You can go thin and then add pressure and come out with a thick line at the end, A lot of people like the Copics, but for me, those just like I break those, man. I use a lot of pressure, but bro, eventually I'm just gonna start using nibs, man. I want to move on to brushes and nibs. Eventually, that's the way of the future. I just kind of forget to do it, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, no, these are the best I've seen, and they're affordable too. I think like if any artist would try it out, they would probably fall in love with it. This one's like the thicker one. It's the soft tip, but it's bigger, And usually when I'm gonna go in and do the detail, I do the blue one, the hard tip one. I think this is it right here. To add the little lines. I think this one might be burned out a little bit, but I'm gonna do the teethers on this guy. Yeah, this is the burnt out one. It's got a little bit of ink left in it though, I think. Taking a bite out of MAXX right there. You gotta like the MAXX Drawn Sword. I'm sure you're into the MAXX. Yeah, it's getting gray. I need that thick in the darkness. Once you start getting the nibs though, man, and then the brushes, like the OGs, that's where it's at. Like Bernie. Who else uses brushes now a lot is I think Nick Klein does. That guy's badass from Germany. Doing a lot of the Hulk stuff. I've been picking up Hulk, but he's painting some of the issues too. Or one of them he painted it. It's really nice. Pretty badass. Awesome is taking a bite right there. Ooh, 10 likes. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hitting that. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's been a nice day today. Real nice. I got to hang out with the kids and take them to their swim classes. It's nice weather. Let's see. Not actually have 2 random MAXX comics though. Love Sam's telephone cords and body hair artifacts though. I figured you might get a kick out of the Pangea shit because you're right below there, you know, around off to the side. your neighbors, you know. That's what I love. I mean, I loved about the MAXX. But the thing is, there was only so many issues, you know, and I really liked like the first. I don't know, man. Maybe like the first 15 the most, because I just love when he's out in the outback. I think that's a great place to put a comic. You know, it kind of goes into that stone and sorcery, you know, kind of like Primal a little bit. I'm definitely going to be doing shit covering stuff like that in my fantasy world. There's definitely going to be some outback like places or a place. It'll definitely be heavily influenced by the MAXX's outback and Primal for sure. You know, Spear and Fang from Howard. I'm really kind of gearing up for that. So excited though. I start working on it and then I start kind of drawing blank and gotta break off, you know, because I'm working on Crom and that's you know in the same genre. Then I'm doing the Victorian one and then HELWÄR's done, but that's done for a while. But I almost feel like I need a cleanser, something that's not sword and sorcery that I'm working on. You know, I think I really need a cleanser. So I'm trying to like kick around this like vigilante, like 1970s vigilante character that has drives a cool car, dude. You know what I mean? Kind of like the Punisher and Death Wish and like Steve McQueen type shit. Because everything else that I'm thinking about right now at the moment, it's kind of like sword and sorcery or like Victorian or Edwardian type era stuff, you know. So gotta have like a real a good palette cleanse, maybe even a sci-fi. I think that might even help. Yeah, something sci-fi maybe. Because I think it's good that we switch it up, man. Like we have the one thing we work on, but then it's like with Scoundrel's Dread, you got a pretty good bit of sci-fi and sword sorcery kind of going on. I got to pick up that magazine still from the shop, brother. Can't wait to get that. I'm really looking forward to your Crom stories and your universe as well. What's that right there? I always wanted to do a post-apocalyptic MAXX thing. I know it sounds lame, but it's like, for me, it's like low-hanging fruit. I feel that like everybody's doing it, but then I kind of like smack myself like mentally, like, dude, who cares? Everybody does everything anyway. Like you're not going to create anything new anyway. It doesn't fucking matter. You're gonna tweak it and do your own thing on it, but who cares? Just fucking do it, Matt. You know. So I do have some ideas, you know. But no, I haven't done it yet. I have one that's close to it. You know, I have this. I actually came, and again, it's like sword and sorcery, but it was in modern times. Like, and now I have a concept for that with like a homeless guy. You know, not like the MAXX, but ex-military, sword and sorcery. Yeah, you know, without saying too much, but I was thinking about doing that. I don't know what it is, man, about sword and sorcery. It just kind of creeps its way in there a lot. And that's why I was doing a Western. I was thinking about doing another Butch Cleaver story because I have the whole Butch Cleaver universe. I could pick from there. I could do another Butch Cleaver story, and I have the script ready for that. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll start working on the script for that, or I might start working on that. I actually have the script done, and that's like a chase story as well. It's like that story I have for Butch Cleaver. It's called Carnival Freak Show Circus Butch Cleaver 3, and that's yeah, that's like Fury Road. That's like there's a whole. It opens up with a whole kind of chase sequence. So I might do that. That might be kind of cool. Yeah. Always gotta have a good palate cleanser. And then I'm starting to get more ideas for like modern times too. But I don't really like drawing modern stories, man. I have a zombie take, and it's very similar to like Resident Evil kind of style, but it's its own thing. Enough to be kind of original. I was thinking about doing that. But I guess I just gotta wait. These things usually they kind of make themselves known in my head, you know, and everyone else's too. You got to make the story that kind of is the loudest, I guess. I feel like you don't really have control over it. But I'm kicking around these ideas. And then I have another vigilante story too. It's kind of like it takes place in Hollywood. It's like a Russian kind of a vigilante Batman type character I made up. Made that dude up a long time ago. It kind of kicks into like Russian folklore, but it takes place in Hollywood. And a lot of like KGB and Russian mafia stuff like that. It's called the Verdulok. Yeah, and that's taken from the. There's a lot of that name's very popular now though. But it was cool, man. I did a lot of research and I designed a pretty decent looking character, I think, and he's got a lot of toys like Batman. He lives in a church, an abandoned church in Hollywood. And I went to Hollywood like a couple weeks ago for a doctor's appointment. There's a specialist out there, and I seen a church, and I was thinking, damn, dude, that'd be a good spot for Verdulok if I ever get to that story. Let's see here. Cool. Same having an outline and some characters, probably be a while before I get there. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's weird, man. Just kind of having to make that jump, you know? Like, I'm going to go with this, and this is the story, and this is the ending, and hope people like it or hate it or something. Yeah. It's scary. You just got to do the jump eventually, I guess. Let's see here. Never, if not for now. Is this you streaming and drawing that picture? It sure is. That's me. Drawing Sam Keith's The MAXX. It's an awesome comic book and cartoon you should go check out. I recommend everybody should watch it. It's one of those like kind of cornerstone things, you know, everyone should check out. It was a cartoon on MTV back in the Dizzle. Back in the dizzy, as they say, or used to say. Let's see here. I reckon writing the ideas is quicker just to develop while you're drawing the other 3 comic ideas, right? Absolutely. Yeah, I write everything down. All right. I have it all in my phone now. I type it down. I try to write it though too when I'm designing the characters. I got like two character design books now, like just sketchbooks. I got for one for just, it's kind of bigger for miscellaneous. I got it for $5. It's pretty decent. And then I got a little one. I think I've shown on here. Just I got at Walmart. That one I do kind of just for my fantasy stuff. Yeah. Kind of want to. It's always trying to kind of do something different too, you know. Thinking I'm probably going to do something vigilante. And for me, drawing like, and if I'm having to put it in the city, I want to draw something. If it's in the 70s, I get to draw like 70s cars and stuff like that. I think they're a little more interesting. I remember too as a kid, I totally forgot. I used to draw cars a little bit, and I liked doing it. But it was like the old like hot, you know, like was it forgot the name of the magazine. Cartoons. That was the name of it. Cartoons. I used to love cartoons. That's a good magazine. You draw the cars kind of cartoony, but they would have a lot of detail, you know. But I think I did that a couple times, and I remember I might have traced it too, learning how to draw them. But it was fun. Had to have been like, poof, 30-something years ago. Must have been so young. Like with that rat. Let's see here. Never in for never now. My voice to text was messed up. I was trying to say the most of lives are based upon some kind of ridiculous social anomaly instead of any kind of true talent. Yeah. No, here I'm just kind of drawing and just talking about nerd stuff and process and yeah, and then trying to help people out that want to make comics and try to just basically help them any way that I can. I'm a grayish green comic creator, independent. I've been doing it for about 12 years now, forever learning, but I might know some stuff other people don't. I might know some stuff that seasoned veterans don't do. And then I'm learning. I'm a student. So just a place, a community, we can all come together and liked and subbed. You're a talented artist. People should respect true talent instead of shock value. I agree. And thank you for the subbing. You're awesome. We're trying to do these live streams, these draw streams on, I'm going to try to do them on Wednesday and Thursdays now. That's I'm trying to get a schedule going. People like that. I like that. Keeps it lined up, you know. Drawn Sword Graphics. Have you ever got a toy bike or a vehicle to draw from it? Its features like a lot in your comics. Yeah, I for HELWÄR specifically, I got he has a van that he drives around, and it's a yeah, just like a regular like old stoner van. You know, I had to have that. You know, like Frazetta painting on the side, but I never gave it that much detail in the comic. I put his insignia because HELWÄR does have an insignia. He actually has a symbol like Batman. He has one like everybody else, but he doesn't wear it or nothing like that. But he has it on his van and he has it on at his work. He has Volking repairs. But if you see the symbol, it's on his window, and he's a bounty hunter. So, but probably in the next book, if I do another HELWÄR, he'll probably be rocking it. And he's going to be different in the next book too. He's not going to be the same. He's going to look a little different. But with that, there was a van that I used, a toy van that my son had, and it was a stoner van. He just had the toy for it, and it had a little painting on the side like a horse or something. And I'm like, this is cool. I'll just use this for HELWÄR. And so I would take pictures of it and then draw it and flip it upside down. But I also modified it to where it was my own van. Like I changed the headlights around and I changed the grill. I wanted the grill to have like a big front bumper on it to ram stuff with. And then I made I put metal plates like on the front of the grill. And then he has a flamethrower on one side of it, and then he has a grappling hook on the other side of the van. The back door of the van, the very back door of the van, is a giant amplifier. It's a giant PV amplifier. So he ends up using that in the book without spoiling anything. And then it also has 2 gigantic back tires, huge, like just so big, like monster truck tires. And it has 6 exhaust pipes going up the side. So you'll see a little bit of that. And then inside of the van too, I actually want the van. Inside of the van, he has two kegs of ale, back there. He's got a bunch of drinking horns on the wall, a couple of amps in there, a couple of guitar axes. And he just used that mostly to put bounties in there. There's a one of the leaders of the biker gangs that he takes out in the first book. He throws them in the van and he chains them up. He's like, lie down for a minute. Take a nap. Yeah, so he has all that in there. He's got a lot of goodies in there. Let's see here. Yeah, so that's in there. I don't know if I have any pictures of it right here. I call it the rolling cage, though. I call it the rolling cage, but I designed it and I put it in the book. It's gonna be in the special features too. The design for it. Let me see here. You can see it a little bit right here. Kind of tiny though. But I have it rolling through the Bifrost. So that's the van. So I designed the front bumper and the grill and the headlights. I gave it these kind of Volkswagen just circular lights. I really like the way those look, kind of retro. And that's the sign right there, the HELWÄR sign, but it's so small you can barely make it out. And then you can see some of the exhaust pipes right here, the big tires, and it has a little axe, hood ornament right there, coming on the top. Yeah. But yeah, he'll probably be living in that thing in the next book. But something happens to it in this one. I don't want to spoil it. I want you guys to read it. Hopefully, in the book, I also have it. The first 13 pages is up on the campaign. So if you guys ever want to check it out, it's Kickstarter. You type in HELWÄR, it'll take you there. I got it open for 40 more days, so we're just halfway going through it, just past the first third of the campaign. And if you guys live overseas, I really wish I could send you the actual book, but I can't because the shipping is so much money. It's more than the book. The shipping is $40 to $80, $30 to $80 depending on where you live. It's more than the book. The book's only $20, and then I charged 15 or maybe 20 to Canada, But I have it digital, dude, for 13, so you guys can pick up. It's 106 pages for $13 digital. So, do you ever draw tattoos? I would design a tattoo, but I don't have the skill, I don't think, to sit there in the longevity to tat on somebody, and I'm terrified that I'm going to mess up on somebody. But if I could, man, I probably would. Because there's really good money in there. Really good money in tattooing. Even though there is a lot of element around there, a lot of crime and drug people, tweakers and stuff that kind of come in there, I would still do it. But I'm just too afraid, But I'll tell you one thing: I want to get my comic books into tattoo shops, and then I'm going to try to get them trying to find hippie head shops. They don't exist anymore. Ever since we became illegal, everything's corpo now. So all the head shops at corpo, a lot of them. Very cool. Yeah, doing something Mad Max you need toys of all characters' vehicles for setting up cool shots, I reckon. And then riff off of it for some additional details. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'd be good to have a bunch of them, right? Because Mad Max is pretty metal. I kind of do have a Mad Max story kind of lined up for a character I made up called Toxic Mask. Toxic Masculinity, He's like HELWÄR, but he's actually in HELWÄR. He's the drummer of HELWÄR. He's more of like a thrash metal guy. Yeah, but he's a wrestler too. He's an underground wrestler, but he's also in the band HELWÄR. He plays drums, so he does both. But he's also like a kind of like a guy that travels through space and time and portals, and he fights dinosaurs and shit like that. So I was gonna do that, but that's really like really 90s and really far out there. Toxic Mask, you know. Yeah, and I was surprised nobody used the name Toxic Mask. Nobody fucking used it. So I made up a character like, dude, I think it was like 7 years ago, and I drew him. He's pretty cool, man. He looks like, you know, he's got a mask. He's got like a yellowish green mask, if colored wise, and he wears like army fatigue pants. And he's kind of loosely based off of Commando and Rambo, a little bit of Conan too. You know, that's but he's called Toxic Mask, and he is in HELWÄR. If I could find the picture of him. But yeah, I kind of would like to do that story too. That would be a lot of fun. Because HELWÄR is tongue in cheek, but that's even more. And then as I kind of started developing that character, Toxic Mask, and a fucking ton of ideas came into my head. And he's got a little bit of Viking in him. Let's say a little bit of Viking blood without spoiling too much. But yeah, he's definitely an underground wrestler too, like Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler. Let's see here. Never If Not For Now. They have a lot of physical media that you can practice on, and it's not very expensive to get started. You're a widely talented artist. Maybe you should dabble in some tattoos. I know, man. Yeah, maybe that's something to think about. Maybe when I get even older, I'll be like less like worried. You know what I mean? I'm about to be 43 right now. Maybe when I'm like in my 60s. I plan on living a long time, but I got to get in better shape. It's all up here, man. The muscle, the brain is a muscle machine, and it needs maintenance. You know, that's what it is. And you have to play tricks on it sometimes to kind of keep it motivated. You know, I was talking about that on Twitter the other day about editing your comic book, because when you're editing a comic, you will proofread it 100 times, and your brain will autocorrect things, and you'll oh, okay, that's good. I spelled that right, and you didn't spell it right, but your mind checks it off like it was. It autocorrects. And I thought it was the only one that happened to, you know. No, some dude on Twitter said he did the same thing. And, you know, I was like, that's crazy, you know, and that's why you need an editor. And that's why you need maybe someone you trust too, like friend wise, that isn't going to kiss your ass. And then you also need like a couple of other just random people that you can trust to read it, like professionals. And then you get a proofer, the actual person that checks everything. So you got a proofer, which is a proofreader. You pay them, you know, maybe like $50 to read your book or whatever they're going to charge you. Then you have your editor that checks it too. You check it too. Then you have like maybe a couple other people, you know, read it. That way you don't have to worry about it. And then you also go and you read it backwards, and then you read random pages from different directions, just so to play tricks on your brain, so you can pick out these grammatical and spelling errors. So your brain, you know, you have to always be, you know, playing tricks on your brain to kind of keep it motivated. You know, reading helps, all that stuff. Then you got to clean it. You got to clean your brain. Let's see here. I'm yapping and I'm missing the chat. Billy Power Max, BATT MURK Hill. Hey, thanks for stopping by, man. Zayd Comics. Hey, what's up, brother? I got to get that piece scanned and sent over to you. I'm gonna do a short on it too, a heavy metal short. I got to pick a good song that kind of coincides with our battle. Drawn Sword Graphics. Making stories is so much fun. Artists are storytellers, really. Yeah, they are, man. You know, they're storytellers. You know, there's two types of people in this world. There's givers and there's takers, and artists are definitely givers. American Discord. What's up, Shelby? How you doing, brother? What's up, Bat Yap? Mick Yapperton. Looking good. Thank you, man. Yep, just yapping away on this. Drinking my Dunkelsworthy right here. About to start drinking some beer here in a second. Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming pretty long tonight. At least another hour. Oh, damn. 12 likes. You guys are awesome. Yeah. But the brain is crazy though, man. Especially for comics. Like you can even look at shit and, you know, like, I don't want to talk about that. Like, oh, you fucking nuts. Nope. That's just the brain, dude, doing self edits. Yep. But yeah, that Mario movie was pretty cool, man. That Mario Galaxy. A lot of movies coming out, man. I can't wait. And He-Man's like in. It's almost time for He-Man. Oh, that fucking He-Man! I saw the trailer in the big screen. Oh, it looks so good, dude. Trap Draw looks fucking sick. Oh man, I'm so excited. And I said it before, man, that there's a lot of, as far as like barbarian and like sword and sorcery, maybe a little bit of fantasy, but mostly like the barbarian genre and sword and sorcery hinges on He-Man. If He-Man does well, then you're going to see a Conan movie. You're going to see a lot more shit, dude. You're going to see a lot more comics, video games, animated movies. They're really looking at He-Man right now. And I think He-Man's going to do really good. A lot of people are saying it's going to flop. I think it's going to print money personally. Yeah. We need it to print money though, man. Like we need movies. Cuz those theaters they're shutting down. Just like the LCSs. I was driving by my old comic book store a couple times the last few days. Going to the store cuz they're like a block from my house. And they're like closed up early, man. I'm like hoping they didn't shut down. It's like fuck, dude. So we need a win. We need a cool win with He-Man. Everybody needs that shit to win. You know. A lot of people are like, it's Jared Leto. It's like, he might do a good job. You know. There's a lot of Spurg hate on the guy. I know he's not perfect. I know he's a cult leader. All that shit, but he might pay off on the Skeletor front. He might do an okay job. Some of the stuff I liked about his Joker too, I didn't hate, you know. Some of it was like, it's all right. Some was like, I wouldn't have went that way with it. Yeah. Definitely need a win on that though. Let's see here. Never, if not for now. Bro, I got to bounce, but this shit is sick. I'm just a normie seeing an artist's work like this. It's like seeing a Disney artist drawing something historical in real time. You're blessed, bro. Real talent. Oh, no, man. I'm just an idiot scratching into some paper, dude. But thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. And, yeah, anybody can draw, man. That's what something along the lines that Jack Kirby said. It just, some people got to work harder at it than others, and it's just a skill that you can attain, you know. And some people that have natural talent, I don't know, man. I've seen people come in without natural talent, I guess, and they put in the time and they just fucking they show them up, you know, and they showed up. So that's the way I feel about that, really. Yeah. So Werewolf's coming out. I don't know. We'll see. I'm a little on the fence about Werewolf. I love me some Robert Eggers. You know, he gave us the best Viking movie ever made. Homies, you know, got my vote for life on that front. And Nosferatu was the shit. So we'll see though. But we got to have a werewolf in that movie, guys. We got to have a transformation. I think he's going to go full out like an American Werewolf in London style. Like you're going to see the best transformation. That's what I think low key people kind of are feeling that, but they're probably not thinking it or voicing their opinion or voicing their thought. Maybe not their opinion, but they're not voicing their thoughts about it because I haven't really heard anybody talking about that. Like this guy does everything practical on a little budget and makes it look so good. So I think people are really going to want to see a next level werewolf transformation in Werewolf. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Because that other Wolfman movie, dude, I couldn't watch it. I couldn't bring myself to watch it. Some people are like, dude, just watch it. I couldn't. I talk too much shit on it. I can't do it now. I can't do it. I was talking mad ahead on that movie. Got to keep it on brand, you know. Got to keep it gangster. I heard it was a good horror movie though. You know, What was another movie that was like that? It was the same director. He did the same shit. It was The Invisible Man. Thought it was a great like suspense horror movie, right? But a horrible Invisible Man movie. Dude just had a suit on. He was a fucking Marvel DC villain, you know? And the Invisible Man, it's a mutation, and that what happens to him, you know? That's what I want to see. Fucks with his psyche a little bit, like Hyde and Jekyll. Oh, I'm hella pumped up too for the Mummy movie, dude. The new Mummy movie. I'm sorry, that shit's dope, son. I love the Mummy movies. Uzia 7478, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. I don't know very much about comics, but my friend was telling me about this new comic about Batman. But he isn't wealthy, and one of his parents are alive or something like that. Let's see here. Yeah, that's Absolute Batman. It's pretty good. I read up to like issue 11 or so, but it got a little, I don't know, man. It got a little preachy for me. And I kind of put it down. Other than that, yeah, it's not really Batman. You know, it's like an Elseworlds Batman, but they're giving it its own fucking universe. Thing is, though, a lot of people are picking it up, you know, and it's in the zeitgeist right now. So there is some cool character designs in there. It's a cool story for that, but I just kind of, I don't know, kind of stopped doing it for me. But yeah, that's the Absolute Batman line. Let's see here. American Discord. Hollow Man is my favorite Invisible Man film. You know what? Me too, man. Can't go wrong with Paul Verhoeven. He's one of the greatest talents of all time, in my humble opinion. I want to go back and watch some of his German films. Just some of the visuals that he has in there, they look fantastic. Yeah, and then RoboCop, you know, that movie tied with Bram Stoker's Dracula and Conan the Barbarian are my favorite film. They both sit in the favorite film spot, all three of them. But yeah, Absolute Batman, yeah. I'm kind of just tired of Batman. I hate to say it, but they kind of just got kind of tired of him. He's like my favorite character, you know. Now I'm just kind of over him. I give RoboCop a monthly watch for the last 40 years, bro. Yeah, but do you watch the cartoon? And do you watch the TV show? And do you watch the remake? And do you watch the sequel? And do you watch RoboCop 3? Huh? Do you? And do you play the new video game? No? Well, I don't either. It'd be cool, though. I also got to scoop up RoboCop versus Terminator, man. That book's freaking dope, dude. Let's see here. Usa 7478. Yeah, interesting. It sounded good. How he's maybe this more relatable character, more of a normal guy, but has to build his way up. But I can understand your perspective. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like not Batman at that point anymore. You know, you gotta get to one point and say, is it Batman though? It's more. Is it Bruce Wayne? You can't really call him Bruce Wayne at a certain point. You know, you got to call him something else. And there's other Bat characters out there, like the Black Bat. He came out, I think it's arguable, but I think he came out like maybe a few months before Batman, and he was a blind lawyer. So he was like the first Batman, and he was the first Daredevil, if you will. Someone on Twitter today was saying that, I forgot the quote, but it was, what is it? Batman is, what do you say? He said that Daredevil should be called, what do you say? Forgot how he worded it. Yeah, Ghost Rider should be called Daredevil because he's always doing like death-defying tricks, and he's, you know, a devil from hell. And then what is it? Forgot how he worded it. Batman should be called Ghost Rider because he's riding on the wealth and death of his parents, you know. And then Batman should be called Daredevil because he uses his sonar basically like a bat. That kind of falls in line with the whole original Black Bat, you know. I wanted to do a Black Bat story one day too and do a little redesign on the character. Some of those characters though, they just work best in the pulp era, you know. And I agree, but a part of me is just like, fuck that. I kind of want to bring him up to modern time a little bit, even though I hate modern stuff. but at least somewhere in the middle, like the 80s or 90s, you know. Get rid of the cell phone shit, and I'm good. See, is the Black Bat public domain? Not sure. That is something to look into, though. You know, I've done some designs of these characters a while ago. They're mostly trash too, because just my art skills are still trash, but they're even worse back then. But I think they got decent. I think I made some decent concepts up, and I think the concepts are sound. Did a bunch for Batman and the Bat Fam. I don't think I did any for the Black Bat though. Yeah. I read one story though. I think it was through Dynamite. I'm pretty sure I have it. But I thought it was cool, and that was like my introduction to it. It was a series, and I was like, this is fucking cool. This is a lot like Daredevil and Batman put together. And then I started doing research on it, like, oh, this guy is older than both of them. You know, and then knowing from all the scandalous shit that like Bob Kane did, you know, it's kind of like, huh, maybe he did come out first, you know. I mean, no one's perfect. We all do fucked up shit, you know. Everybody does. I don't care who you are. But yeah, I'd like to, you know, that'd be a dope character. Oh, I gotta watch Daredevil tonight too. Gotta watch Daredevil, and I gotta watch some Barbarian trash films. At least one. Batfang. Cool name. Ever heard of that one? Nah. That sounds dope though. Yeah, it'd probably be Batman and the Hulk. I think those were the first two characters I was introduced to. I was young, dude. My dad gave me a Hulk figure, like that big. I was like 3 years old, and I remember going and playing in the snow, and I had a Hulk beanie. I had to have been like 3 years old, like 2 or 3. That was like one of my first, you know, because I have memories from when I was 4. And then now I like started, like when my dad died, I kind of started, he died a few months ago, and I started remembering like, oh man, he gave me the Hulk figure, and it was made out of plastic, obviously, and it was big like that, and he had the purple pants too. It was like a Ken doll, but he was swole, and he was held together by strings, like all the little anatomical joints were held together by strings. It was a cool toy. I wish I had it still. Yeah. Yeah, that guy was cool, man. I miss my pops. You never spend enough time with your parents. So one thing most people say when they're laying on their deathbed is, even the ones that had everything, was you never spend enough time with your family. It's like the one thing they wish they would have done. Let's see here. American Discord. Yeah, I think that was the Mago one. You know everything, dude. Yeah, man. They did some cool covers too. I think like Tyler Kirkham did some. You're like, I did one too, homie. You probably did one, huh? Yeah. Hey, what do you think about? What are you guys thinking about the new Lobo, guys? What's your thoughts on the new Lobo? Are you guys gonna go watch Supergirl? No Marvel cover credits. I think that Black Bat one though was on Dynamite. Pretty sure it was. When they drew him too, he just looked like Nemesis, or basically Batman without the ears, you know? I think that's how he's always looked though. Yeah. From what I remember. Yeah, I would like taking a crack at those characters. I'd like to do a couple stories. Definitely the Phantom, Shadow, the Black Bat. I'd like to do I'd like to do at least one pulp story, a whole comic with each one of those characters, and then one modern one, at least in the 90s. We don't got to do now. I don't want to give them any cell phones or any shit like that. But yeah, I'd like to do that before I die. That'd be fun, even if it was just for me. You know. And yeah, make my own stuff up. But sometimes, you know, like you get the whole like, well, why don't you just make your own character then? But it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that indefinitely. But then there's a part of me that wants to go and take a crack at some characters I really like. It's a different feel altogether. But yeah, ultimately, 90% of the time, you want to do your own shit. But some of these characters, you know, you love. Something that, you know, when you were a kid, really don't want to too much detail to these because I'm going to render these really crazy. Something about when you were a kid, I don't know. You were really into them, I guess. Let's see here. All right. American Discord. I'll watch a solo Lobo if it's a Zack Universe film. If it's hard pass on Supergirl. No interest in Gunn's universe. Oh, so you like Zack Snyder? That's cool. Yeah, I like Zack Snyder too. A lot of people hate him. Let's see here. Drawn sort of graphics. I got the new #1 Lobo comic. Art's great. Looks true to biz, but didn't laugh. Genuine Comics. What's up, Brink? How you doing, brother? Man, I was really looking forward to going on your show, man. Really looking forward to that. Just you stream right when I'm at work. It's like that too, because I've been on your show back in the day, back in the Dizzy, like freaking 3 years ago, and I was always like on a Sunday, and it was hard for me to get on it. But yeah, man, you're always invited to come on, dude. The Barbarian Brunch, dude. If you ever want to talk about your stuff, I'm looking forward to Ravik, man. Yeah, man. Ravik's gonna be fucking awesome. I like your slogan. What is it? No prophecies, no spells, no chosen ones. It's awesome. Something like that. Yeah. I know Shelby would fucking kill on that. On fucking Ravik, dude. I'm definitely gonna do some fan art for that too. It's just gonna happen. You know? Sometimes you just see these characters, you know, and you're like, I'm fucking drawing that shit. I don't give a fuck because it done. Like what Phil's character, the man with no strings, had to draw that shit. No prophecies, no chosen ones, no mercy. Hell yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna love that. I think it's gonna come out right when it needs to. I'm interested to see your take too, dude, because you're European. You're from the northern lands, you know, that north part of the world. So I'd like to see like your take on fantasy and stuff like that. Find it interesting. It's different than, you know, other people's perspective. Let's see here. I like the word Northernlands too. I put that in HELWÄR. Not Netherlands, Northernlands. I was actually thinking about making a comic book called Northernlands. Genuine Comics. Mainstream comics have been feminized. We need more comics for men. Yeah, definitely, dude. I agree. 100%. Can never get enough. Almost time for a brewski. It's basically my Saturday night. Yeah. And then I want to try to get some reading done this week. I'm working on Worms of the Earth by Robert E. Howard. That one's got Cole and it's got fucking Brand McMorn in it. Sword and Sorcery comics for men. Yeah, no, it is 100%. 100%. And they're good, man. A lot of them too, man. Like if you ain't got time to read them and you want to draw, get the audiobook or a lot of channels do audiobooks now on YouTube. There's tons of Howard books on audio that people do a pretty decent job. I'll put that on when I'm drawing sometimes. Like, oh man, am I ever gonna have time to go and read all these? I'm like, probably not. So I'll probably just get the audiobook. I've listened to so many now. I know a bunch of like Howard dudes that are like, damn, you've read more Conan than me, and I'm like, nah, I just listen to the audiobook. I don't have time to read them all. Actually, if I start reading a lot, I fall asleep, man. My eyes get tired. It's probably because of my vision. So it kind of sucks. No one's perfect though. But yeah, 100%. Let's see here. Genuine Comics. That's some nice shading. I think the MAXX is most difficult to draw from the front. Making the head look right is tricky. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have this thing now where I like draw usually a character with I don't know what it is, man. I like seeing that big ass eye open and then a squint, you know? For a while, you'll probably see a lot of characters doing that. I don't know why. I'll grow out of it though. Everyone's got their ticks, and then I have a pose that a lot of artists too. They got their poses that they go to. You know, mine's usually like a profile dude punching and kicking a dude. It's usually going that way. If you look at my art, they all have that. Most of them do. I don't know. I like that pose. You know, I like seeing a character using all of his limbs, just fucking people up. That's my go-to pose. I ain't gonna lie. Let's see here. But this one popped in my head, and I just, I usually do a thumbnail, but it just started coming to me. Drawn sword graphics. Yeah, likewise. Audio sword sorcery while I draw. Yeah. And then sometimes I have to, and it's cool too, because you're working on it, and then sometimes I have to stop it and then go back and rewind it, especially for Howard, because he spits like so much stuff in a minute, and he's so poetic with his, oh my God, with his writing, with his action sequences. And you guys know I love my action, but like hearing Howard, he actually could write like what we want to draw, like the gore and the, he picked up his arm and snapped his wrist. He lifted him above his head and slammed him onto the ground. Like oh man, like Beyond the Black River, like okay. Or when he's fighting the slithering shadow, that beast that was basically a Lovecraftian like cockroach, that's going around that city and eating everybody that's high off their fucking mind on the desert. Oh man. But yeah, and then you get your breaks, because usually when I draw, I do like 2 or 3 hours at a time, and then I like to do a little break, and if you're sitting there with your break, you're eating a sandwich or something, and then audio is still playing, and you got your little intermission, and and then you're sitting there probably just munching, looking up at the ceiling. That's your projector, that's your TV, and you can see everything as they're speaking it, But when people do it, man, like with that radio quality, it just makes it all the more merrier. 100%. I know there's a lot of peeps in our scene too, man, that if they did more radio, if they did more readings, like professional readings of some of Howard stuff, I think that would be fucking cool. Or just like even Lovecraft or Burroughs, or so many good writers. All the dudes in that they're all in that the Lovecraft circle, which Howard was in there. Genuine Comics. It's unbelievable how well and how much Robert E. Howard wrote before his death. He was only 30 years old when he died. I know, man, so young. Oh man. Yeah, it was just too much for him, He's going through a rough patch, with his mom getting sick, and then his dad wasn't around too much. His lady leaving him. Then he had I think somewhere around 2 to 6 stories that he had written and he was waiting on the money for. And then they weren't paying him, dude. So he was kind of needing the money a little bit. So all that was just stressing to him. Yeah, it's rough. And that town he was in was fucking pretty tough at the time. I heard one story about him. He worked for a laundry company where he would go around and pick up the the women's linens, and he was saying like the women's laundry was like the most disgusting and vile thing he had ever seen. And just imagine, you're just some, pretty much traveling doctor's son, and you take care of your mom. You have your jobs, you're a writer, and then you go out one day, and then this whole like convoy of these oil miners come through, with the, and then a bunch of women of the night too, and they just come into town and they start drilling for oil. He starts hanging out with them, and they're telling him stories, and then he's going to the bars, and he's listening to people from across the room, picking up dialogue, and then all these characters, he's like, I'm using that, and that's the best way to do it. You have to literally kind of, I don't know, guys, I mean, don't get wasted, but maybe go to a bar sometimes and hang out in the corner and kind of listen to people, drink responsibly, but listen more responsibly. You can get some killer dialogue. But more so in reading. I think listening to people, but also reading books, that's where the best dialogue comes from. But now, I don't know, man. Now there's a lot of kind of stupid slang, because everyone kind of, what happened was a lot of culture is getting kind of smashed together. It's kind of fucking itself together because of the internet and TikTok, and everyone's using the same lingo. And some countries, they kind of just sound like the same now. Everyone's kind of got that internet, especially with the youth, they have this internet kind of overall sound, and man, cultures need to keep their culture. They need to keep their identities, their traditions, their folklore, their legends. All that needs to stay intact. I think a lot with the internet now, it's kind of dismembering it. It's losing its individualism. It's iconoclasts. Drawn sword graphics. There's a massive sword and sorcery third wave happening now. Amazing how many anthology mags are out now in there. Oh, I know, man. Yeah, it's definitely happening. Yeah, I love it. It's good times. It's because of all the shit that's going on in the world, People, they need these heroes, to stand up, and a lot of us can't. So we we voice it through our art, Some people protest, we tell stories about the times, I think. Yeah, I was thinking too, something. I was thinking that for some stories, if I'm going to do a comic, I might just do a whole prose story, like I don't know how many pages, 20 to 100 pages, depending on the story. And then given the story with the book, because I'm going to write that differently than when I'm going to draw it. When I draw it, I'm going to edit like half of it out. All the dialogue is going to come out, because I'm going to draw what's being seen. But then I could give, the people that are buying the book, I could give them the actual story to go with it, so they can read it like that, and then they can look at the story. I would actually rather have them probably read it first and then look at the comic after. Like, oh, that's pretty cool, Like, oh, that's the way he looks. He actually thought of that when he was writing it. He's drawing him like that. That type of stuff. I think that's really cool, because they can have their own version of what I'm thinking. It would be like if Robert E. Howard wrote a story. He wrote, Tower of the Elephant. He did a crowdfund, and then he gave that story away on a PDF or a printed out book or a magazine. I would print the whole book in a magazine form. I think that's the way of the future for novels too, right? Just like the pulps, cheap shit, right? And then you give them the comic too, magazine size. They have two different versions of the story for the same price, And I think that's awesome, dude. I think and if it's hard, I can get a co-writer to write it with me, I think that could be kind of cool, because there's a lot of artists out there, and there's a lot of artists that have good ideas that aren't really, I don't know, they're not really great at writing, but A writer could be great, and the artist could be okay at it. Let's see here. Genuine Comics. If I remember correctly, the idea for Conan was conceived only 4 years before Howard died. In an age without computers and internet, people seem to be much more prolific than now. Yeah, they were. He was, from my understanding, he had been coming up with these characters since he was like 14 or 15. He was already building the worlds and whatnot. But I do know that he had Cole first, and I'm about 90% sure he came up with Conan when he was in his probably in his early 20s. But he didn't really use, because he wrote the first, at least the first published ones. It was Phoenix on the Sword, and then he did forgot what the second one was. It was I think it was the Scarlet Citadel or the Frost Giant's Daughter, or it was Tower of the Elephant. Those were definitely the first 4 stories that were written and published. But Phoenix on the Sword was actually a Cole story from this Axe Eye Rule. And then he retrofitted it into a Conan story because they didn't want it. And we don't want this. We don't want this, But all those people were so well read at that time. They didn't even have radio. So they were just reading and reading and reading. And then he was just reading, and he was a historical, fiend. And he was also philosophical, man. His philosophy is something that's ahead of its time as well. I love his theory on just, evolution versus, barbarism, or civilization, versus barbarism. And that's what he would get into arguments with Lovecraft about, because they were pen pal buddies. They were homies, and they both borrowed, used each other's ideas in writing. He put a lot of the Lovecraftian beasts in the Conan stories, and Howard was inspired by. Lovecraft was inspired by Howard, like with one of the characters from Innsmouth, the movie they made in the 90s with the fish village. The character in there is a little more heroic, like Conan. Most of the characters prior to that in Lovecraft's works were they're a little more wimpy, if you will. I think a little bit more of that masculine energy rubbed off on Lovecraft from Howard, dude. They were fans of each other. It's pretty wild. Now there's 2 thick-ass books of all their letters, their correspondence you could pick up. I think it's on the Robert E. Howard Foundation website. I want to pick those up. I want to geek out on that shit. But one thing, though, I do like is that he wrote the first story, and then he wrote Conan's last story, like in the beginning. And then all the juicy shit in between, he did that later, I was like, okay. That's smart, because you look the Scarlet Citadel, that's kind of like the last story. Obviously, the very last thing he wrote was a novel, which was Hour of the Dragon, but that was like his greatest hits that he wanted to submit to an English publisher, But Scarlet Citadel, for me, Scarlet Citadel and Phoenix on the Sword are kind of like the last Conan stories, and then Frost Giant's Daughter, that's the first one. That's the first story. So he wrote that in the beginning too, and then Tower of the Elephant's also one of the first ones. So he kind of had the beginning, the end and the beginning kind of mapped out in the very beginning. So I think that's something we can all take away from Howard. It's not bad to do that and kind of flesh out the middle shit. That was what I took away from that. I had just learned that this week too. That's new. That was news to me. Drawn sword graphics. True. No, distractions and being bored help get creative in old days. Yeah, they do. Yeah, you're supposed to get bored. You're supposed to take 10 minutes and be bored every day. I've been hearing from a lot of different people, from different artists. That's, that way your brain can like kick into gear. Let's see, 17 likes. What the fuck? You guys are awesome. Thank you. Hell yeah. I'm about to go get me some German beer. About to get me some good beer. That's where you guys get some good beer over there, Brink. Let's see here. Nowadays, so many never get bored. Instant Wi-Fi, mini base fondle pads, and have zombified them. Yeah. And I heard that there's like this white matter that's like missing from the, or I don't know, something from the frontal lobes getting fucked up from a lot of the youth. Yeah. I try to, like my kid, he loves Minecraft, right? He was obsessed with Minecraft before he even got to play it, right? So I had already bought him all the magnetic building blocks. I had, made him draw all the stuff. We went and watched the movie. He hadn't even played the game yet. Now I let him play it, but he wants to be an architect, you know, trying to, you know, and then my kids are reading, trying to get him to read stuff. When I was a kid, I fucking hated reading. I wouldn't even read a comic book. The only thing I would barely read was Mad magazines, but I loved looking at the pictures in comics, you know. Now I like reading books. You know, I like reading Howard. He's my favorite writer, you know. Then I'm going to start reading more Lovecraft and more Burroughs. I'm going to start getting into all that shit. Let's see here. Haha. I'm not really a beer drinker or a drinker at all for the matter. But people tell me we have good beers here over here. Yeah, you do. You guys have the best beer over there, at least in Germany and the Germanic countries surrounding that. You do. I don't really drink beer anymore. I drink mostly whiskey. But the other night I barbecued some tri-tip. So I was like, you know, I want to get some good beer and drink some tri-tip, or grill some tri-tip and drink some beer. So I picked up a 6-pack of some German beer. I just went right over to that section. Yeah. And I figured if I drink the good beer, I probably won't get a headache or anything. And sure enough, or allergies. Drink the good German beer, no headache, no allergies. You know, it's all that American like piss beer that really messes you up, you know. Yeah. Yeah, they're saying too, like the whole drinking thing. That's like a generational thing. They're saying like the new generation's not really drinking, but they're sure on their phones and they're fucking their brain up. I'll tell you that much. And they're very impatient and they're smoking like crazy. They're vaping. Smoke a lot of herb too. So it's always something. There's always something, dude. Yeah. But yeah, for the most part, I'm pretty allergic to beer. I don't know what, I don't touch the IPAs. I like the dark stuff though, like stouts and things like that. But yeah, whiskey's where it's at for me. A nice whiskey, nice tumbler every now and then. All right, there's that. And all those monks, man, those monks made the best beer. You know? That's a crazy story too about the monks. I was like, why do they always got the ugliest fucking hairdo you could see? The monks, you know? It's like, oh, it's because they were supposed to be like, they wanted them to be unattractive. They give them the worst haircut, you know? So they would, you know, they give them the bowl cut, the Lloyd Christmas cut, and then they would put a little donut in the top of their head, little hole, you know, little I'm like, dude, I see like a lot of kids now that have that haircut all over town. The chicks love it. Oh shit. Killing me. Let's see here. I got an idea for this. Just popped in my head, now it disappeared. Sometimes I get ideas when I'm drawing for the drawing, and then they slip away. I think I got it now. Okay. Let's see if it works. Okay, we'll let that set a little bit until tomorrow. That might work. Let's see here. American Discord. If I'm too strong, I need to rest. The Edgar haircut. Replace the chill. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the Edgar haircut. Yeah, it did. It did, dude. 100%. 100%. Yep. That's the new generation, bro. Yeah, it's all over here. I know that's your hair, but what have you done to it? Chicks dig it, bro. Like, sure, buddy. Like, oh no, he's right. They do dig it. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, the cholos are like grandpas now, dude. Yeah. If you see like an actual cholo, it's like cosplay kind of now. You know. Same thing with the cholas. And like the OG cholas, they get kind of mad now if they see like the newer kids trying to dress like that. I seen some of them on TikTok, like an old granny chola. She was like, "Man, I used to have to dress like that. Like this is what we, like oh shit." Got to get some genuine. I got to get some work done. Have an amazing day, guys or gents. You too, man. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Always nice. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just had some fish tacos tonight. Oh man, those were great. So good. You guys ever make it out to Bellflower, California? You got up this spot called Taco Nazo. They got the best fish tacos around. The best. We got a lot of really good eats out here. Over like the last 15 years or so, this town has really got a lot of great spots to eat at. You pretty much have everything out here you could possibly think of. Yeah. Let's see here. What's up, Buzz? Hell, brother. Thanks for stopping by. Just drawing some MAXX. God bless Sam Keith. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him. Getting to draw a little pinup. I haven't done a pinup in months. I start doing more pinups. Try to do one every other month at least. Gotta get inspired though, I guess. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Hell yeah. Means a lot coming from you guys. Let's see here. Yeah, right. One of the goats. Oh, you did? Yeah, I almost picked one up last week too. I think it was $20 at the comic store. And then they had like the first 7 issues. They were like way up behind the counter, up above high. You know, like damn. And I have them out in the garage. I think I have like the first 20. But I'm not gonna lie. Man. When I was a kid, I got really, you know, dude, I almost feel like the story is too much for like some kids that are like in elementary school. That's dealing with shit that like you shouldn't be reading, right? But we were. Let's just be real. We were. But by the time he stopped being the MAXX, you know, once I seen the horse and then the rabbit, dude, I got mad, bro. I was fucking furious. You know, it's still stuck with me, you know, like I said, you know, don't want to spurg on it too much, but if I ever get a chance to do a MAXX comic, it's going to be straight up pulpy. He is that dude, you know, he also is the jungle, you know, the jungle king. Yeah. So, even on the TV show, when you find out he's a gardener, oh, that shit pissed me off too. I was like, no, no, he's the king. He's king of the jungle. He's a lion, dude. He's Amra. So, yeah. But you know, it's all good. It's a great, one of the greatest comic books of all time, even for what it's dealing with. You know, it's Julie's story, not the MAXX's story. But you know, little 4th grade me, we wanted the MAXX. We wanted it to be the MAXX's story. You know. Yeah, he was right. Yeah, I whenever I can, I try to pick up, you know, like the Lobo, the MAXX. I think he did the MAXX Batman. I don't think I picked that up. Yeah, gotta get those. The Lobo stuff. Was it the I Before E? Got to pick that up. Some of it just for, I mean, for me, it's just for like a lot of it, the artwork. It's just so inspirational. His page setup. It's a big deal. Big deal for me. Let's see, maybe I will get in here with that multi-liner. I don't know if Drawn Sword's still here, but yeah. And then they got one of these hideouts like this in one of the comics. It's like her spot out in the jungle. This is another one, like a little makeshift one, little 1-story one. The other one looked like it was about 3 stories tall, like an actual book. So, draw some grass in there. I loved his Marvel Comics Presents with Cyber. Was the coolest when he drew him. Yeah, and his Wolverine, man. I mean, I think he has some of the coolest looking Wolverines I've ever seen, to be honest with you. He really sold that little varmint like feel, you know, like the ferocity of it, you know, certain things about it. Yes, dude, his Ghost Rider design. Oh my god, with the sleeves cut off and the bones sticking out. That page is so cool. Like, I'd love to own that. He's great with Venom, Wolverine, like all the dark characters. Yeah. Yeah, it's good to have your own style, man. And that guy figured it out at a young age. Obviously, you know, some of us take our whole lives to figure it out. He did it at a young age. You know. So I'm using a little multi-liner right now. All right, a little bit of that. Staring straight on, so put some texture in there a little bit for fun. Yeah, there's so many like I responded to like a post. I think it's Nick Patch. He's got a pretty cool looking Western comic out, but he brought up another topic about like who's the most underrated, or I think it was underappreciated or under, you know. And there's just so many, man. There, I feel like are underappreciated out there, you know. And it like it got me thinking just about comics in general, you know. Like no one knows who these guys are. You know, the most famous comic book person is Stan Lee, and he's not even an artist. Then it would be probably be you know, Jack Kirby and Frank Miller to a certain degree because of 300 and Watchmen and The Dark Knight Returns and you know Sin City, Year One. You know, even though he wrote that Daredevil. You know, a lot of people, and then obviously Jim Lee's in there and Todd McFarlane. Like those are the big guys. But other than that, you know, there's 1,000 other cats that no one ever going to know about. And that's our generation, guys. That's not like the modern generation now. Kids have no idea who the fuck Indiana Jones is. You know. Yeah. Comic books are just, people don't know who anybody is. It's pretty wild. Always got to remind myself that it's such a small industry. Indie or mainstream, it's small, dude. It's so tiny. Let's see here. The Art and Times of Jay Ryan. What's up, brother? Thanks for stopping by, man. It's comics. They are a niche, and a niche within a niche. Unknowns all the way down. Yep. Buzz Azevedo. Yeah, even the best artists never got the love they deserved. George Perez deserved a parade from both Marvel and DC before he passed. Instead, they could barely agree to put out an Avengers and JLA trade, right? Or pay his bills for the hospital, at least, right? Look at that dude that created He-Man, you know, Mattel, and even trying to hook him up with a couple bucks to pay his hospital bills. Sad. Yeah, they can't name one comic book artist, you know? They just can't. Not even one. Oh, Stan Lee, you know? Dude, I'm telling you. They'll even have trouble with Jack Kirby and Todd McFarlane, you know? I think now maybe they'll be like Robert Kirkman, because Invincible's pretty fucking huge. Invincible is huge right now. He might be one guy I'm forgetting, because of Walking Dead and Invincible. Yeah, he's kind of yeah, he's important. Yeah, he's one of them. He's in the top 5 for sure. Because if we're gonna keep it current, he's the guy where, you know, you'll be in a store doing a signing, and then you'll see like a bunch of college kids come in and say, "Where's the omnibus for you got the omnibus for Invincible?" And that was me like 2 years ago. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, this shit's fucking big. He ain't fucking around over here. He ain't hunting for berries. He's hunting for shark. Yeah, yep. Let's see here. Sweet, man. You're doing a young blood cover? Jay Ryan? That's all. Let's see. That's two. That's cool, man. That's crazy too with that Nino Towski cover. That dude did a sick ass cover for one of the Liefeld books, and then he didn't print it or some shit. Yeah, that shit kind of got me aggro. I ain't gonna lie. See, people who think comics are well known are in a bubble. They need to look outside of. Yep. Let's see, Buzz Azevedo. They probably know him from the Walking Dead credits. Yeah, I would say that too. But even now, like maybe that's even, it's not like you really watch, like a lot of people watch Invincible. Who wrote that? You know what I mean? They probably don't even care about that, dude. Like The Boys is big too. They probably don't even know who Garth Ennis is. A lot of people just don't give a fuck. Pretty wild. But and you think of Frank Frazetta, he's big too. I was talking to someone about this, and I'll keep talking about it. I think it's important. But I think now Frank Frazetta is getting more popularity just because of this whole sword and sorcery kind of Renaissance wave coming through right now. He's definitely one of my favorites for sure. He's in the top 5. He's just telling stories with mostly one picture. I know he did comics and he did Ghost Rider and the OG Ghost Rider. He's young too. He's like 14 doing comics. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, I just watched Fire and Ice. Finally finished it this week. I don't know if you guys seen that. I'm sure you have. The movie's pretty badass, dude. Dark Wolf. That guy's pretty sick. Dark Wolf had a cool voice. Like, yeah, that's Conan right there. I don't know what they're doing with the Conan movies. I think they're working on something big though, like other than the Arnold stuff. That's what they're saying. Like they're working on some big things, but they can't talk about it. I think they're probably making like maybe a cartoon TV show or something. We'll see about that. Yeah, The Walking Dead. That show was pretty good, and then till it wasn't, I guess. For us, though, man, like over at my ladies, and like that was like a habitual ritual every Sunday. That was must-see TV, bro. When it first came out. Hell, I even liked the season 3 with the governor. I hadn't even read the comic, dude. I had the first 6 issues by with Tony Moore, and I he's a great artist too, by the way. I love what he was doing with Venom. I got all those though, with him and Rick Remender. That shit was fire. But I was expecting more of a Tom Savini, like the character he played in the biker from Dusk Till from Dusk Till Dawn. He was Sex Machine, but before that he played the same biker in basically in Dawn of the Dead, But instead we got that conservative version of the governor. I thought he was cool, man. That guy was really cool. He's still my favorite character, I think. Negan's cool too, but I think they created a pretty cool character. You know, he had his, you know, he was like what was he, like a salesman or some shit? He had his little town on point. I gotta go back and watch the rest of those. I stopped watching them though. Just too many. You got like Daryl Dixon now. I heard that one though with Maggie and Negan. I heard that little miniseries was fucking dope. I gotta check that out. $19 likes? What the hell? You guys are awesome. I don't deserve that. Yeah, I think I got one more sip in here, and then it's Razzleburger time. I think that's what's called, Razzleburger. Same with the beer, or Radsburger, some jazz. Let's see here. Drawn Sword Graphics, probably woke proofing Conan. I imagine they chomping to have Conan's daughter better him. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of that. You know about Malmberg, right? And some people were hitting him up on Twitter, like, is it going to be woke or what? And he's like, well, I'm just going to cast actors that are from, Shadizar and Samaria and, the places of which Conan takes place. So, we'll see. There is actual races like in those books, in the Conan books, you got Asians and blacks and whites and, you got Scandinavians. They're not called that in there, but they are, so, and he knows who they are. He's making the games and all that shit. And he's held onto the properties for so long. He's the one that was responsible for the Momoa film. And I thought he did a good job with casting in that movie. I just think that maybe some of the choices they went with as far as like costume design for some of them could have been better. I think that the designs were good, but I think they could have done better with the actors. I didn't like Rose McGowan's design on her. I would have made her a little more sexy, to be honest. I'm more of a barbarian, evil barbarian chick, not like the witch version. Stephen Lang, I thought that was a waste. He looked kind of retarded. I didn't like that version. Did not like that. And again, the makeup was cool. It's just not on him. And I wouldn't have given him the fake nose. I would have just let him look like a badass like he does in Avatar. And then also Nathan Jones, he looked retarded too. I would have not have had that hair and that face on him. I would have just made him a big dude. Or I would have made him a straight up ape man, like Thrak or something like that. If anything, I don't know. And the story was the shit, was shit. But with all that being said, I thought that movie, they did a good job of casting people in the appropriate way. It wasn't woke, And he was in charge of that. Malmberg was. So we'll be good. I think I'm pretty sure it'll be good. About 90% sure. But hey, people change, People do change. And their opinions do change and their views change. It happens. Let's see here. Yeah, but I think that's probably one of the reasons why we haven't got it made, to be honest, because it's been on a lot of studios. Maybe Malmberg's like, nah, I don't know. That's the real fans. They're not going to want that, and they're probably trying to push some agenda, and he's like, nah. But who knows? Could be why Heroic Signatures can't get a deal. No wrecking. Yeah, seriously, dude. But they are working on some stuff, and Malmberg is working with Schwarzenegger. He is working on it, but they're trying to cut a deal somehow, And they've been working on the script for like 7 months, And it shouldn't be that long. They should have had the script done by now, That's why Arnold went in there and he started pressing him, He's like, dude, like I was gonna make a video about this, and I might make one later, but it's like, we're lucky to even get a Conan movie in theaters. Like, we're not going to get any Conan movies. Theaters are closing. LCSs are closing. I've talked about this, We're lucky to get a Amelia's first Conan, Even if it's not Howard Faithful, I'll still take it, bro. I'll take it. We're lucky to get an 80-year-old Conan. So hopefully we get it. I just want to see it one more time. You know, I want to see the character up on screen. He's more Cole. I mean, he is Milius is Conan. It's not Robert E. Howard's, but he's cool. Yeah, and again, if you do, yeah, the thing is though too, if you do Hour of the Dragon, man, it's kind of a big story to put into one movie. I mean, at the end of the day, you want Hour of the Dragon because it's so fucking epic. That would be a great way to send off the character for one movie, but they got to pack a lot of shit in there. They got to pack a lot of. That's 8 hour like. That's yeah. But again, Phoenix on the Sword, they could do that in a movie. They could do that with Arnold. You know, in that story, there's like one big epic fight scene at the end where he fucks everybody up inside of his throne room. It's either his throne room or his dressing room. Just annihilates everybody, you know? And he's just going around having the, you know, people are plotting against him. Arnold could easily fart that. That's no problem. Could be done. They can dye his hair a little bit or whatever the fuck. Would it be cool for them to put his son in the movie and his new son, Banna? Fuck yeah, I'm down with that. He could play his son in there. That'd be fucking dope. Just one movie though. They need to make the one movie with Arnie and then just reboot if they can. And at that point, they probably won't even do theatrical runs. They'll probably just be streaming it. And just put it on HBO, man. I think that's the perfect spot for Conan is HBO. Only HBO. Let's see here. Yeah. Hopefully it'll work out though, guys. But yeah, we are lucky to get any form of Conan in theatrical form. We are lucky to get, if that even happens, because the movie theaters are struggling right now. They making no money. That when the Oscars are all horror movies and they're winning awards, and that's the first time in history, you know that there's a problem, and that's why they're pushing horror, because it's cheap and it's easy to make a profit. And they should have been pushing everything all this time, but instead they're pushing other bullshit. But yeah, hopefully we get it though, man. Hopefully we get Arnie's movie and another Conan movie and a Conan TV show, more video games, more comics, more cartoons, more animated films, more animated TV shows. I want it all, man. Just like The Shadow. The Shadow was like that. He had 3 movies at one point. He was the top of the zeitgeist, and then now he's nothing. Be right back, guys. Let me get a beer. All right, time for a brewski. Let's see here. Drawn sword graphics would be awesome but I don't see wholly changing. How long until we get an amazing YouTube films of Conan? Right? Yeah, right. Yeah, we're probably gonna get that pretty soon. Yeah, I don't know, man. Who would be a good Conan? Like who they would hire now? I got some people I threw out there as far as names go. Like a Barry Windsor Smith Conan. I think Jacob Elordi would kill it. Excuse me. John Buscema Conan, Henry Cavill all the way. And then just kind of like, kind of like just like a universal Conan. I think Alan Richson would be pretty good. The Reacher show is pretty dope. But yeah, top pick would be Henry Cavill. I know everybody jumps to him for casting of everything, but is what it is, dude. He would be a cool Conan, especially I see him as a Buscema one. Seen some people like do some movies with him with AI on YouTube, and yeah, he'd be cool. Let's see here. Let's see. All right, so we got that up there. Probably leave that for a little bit. This right here. Yeah, this is the brew I'm drinking right here. It's pretty good. It's called Rattleburger Pilsner. Rattleburger Pilsner is brewed with only the choicest hops, pale malt, and pure spring water. Yeah, imported from Germany. Pretty good. Pretty tasty. We got our little is down there. Now I think it's time to start doing this. This is going to be hard right here. Okay. Stinky Willie. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it, man. All right. The boots. Cheers, guys. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you guys hanging out and hitting the liking and the subscribing. If you guys are having a good weekend. Sorry, I was kind of zoning out there. I always like to draw his wraps very hempy. They always look very hempy on the toy. I'm about to snap this nib. Yeah. Yeah, the new Mario movie though that I seen today wasn't as good as the first one. That first one was really really good. It did have some moments in there though from the game. They had the Bowser showdown in there. It's pretty cool. Seeing Jack Black come back was funny. He really was like the main draw of the film. He like really killed that first movie. I think did a great job in there. 100%. 100%. All right. Kind of getting there a little bit. It's always liked about the character, man. You could really have fun with the boots. A lot of tones and stuff. Let's see, Lorden Dinganga. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. I'm drawing Sam Keith's the MAXX, at least attempting to. Yeah. The MAXX. Yeah, it's a really cool cartoon, man, that was on MTV. If you want to go check that out, I highly recommend it. And an even better comic. They did about 30 issues or less, I think. I'm horrible. I can't really remember. Horrible. Just horrible. Yeah. Start adding more blacks to this too in a little bit. I'm gonna black out stuff I don't want to. I'll regret later. This backstory is pretty crazy. It's this homeless man that lives in an alley named the MAXX, and he has visions of this world of Pangea that he goes back, and he's a jungle king, and he has a jungle queen that he's protecting. Right here, her name's Julie. But in the reality, in the real world, Julie is his social worker, Julie Winters. And she later on in the story, you find out that he's someone else, but he jumps back and forth to different realities. It's very, very original. He's the most originally designed, or the most original designed character, I think, in like past 30 some years. Yeah. I don't think really any character, I haven't seen any character as original as him as far as like the design goes since then. You know, there's been some cool ones. I would say that the three, like, basically they all came out like in the 90s. That would be the MAXX, Spawn, and Hellboy. Those are the three most original looking characters I've seen. Spawn was just, yeah, just something else. I mean, you could say Doctor Strange and Venom put together, but he was a little more. And then Hellboy with the horns and the big fist. Yeah, that was pretty original. Like coming up with the concept of sawing off a demon's horns. Yeah, that looked pretty cool. Like, no one, I hadn't seen anybody do that with the big right-handed doom, the tail and the samurai haircut. That was fucking, a nice kit bash. That's all it takes sometimes. You got to get that perfect, blend. Yeah, Spawn's always dope. He's just sick. He never gets old. I read some Spawn today, not the Al Simmons though. I'm reading the Dark Ages Spawn right now by Liam Sharp. It was a good. I'm gonna review it tomorrow at some point. I read it today though. I wanted to do a review today, but I ran out of time. Too much stuff going on. Yep. Whole lot of Spawn versus Hellboy. Who wins? That's a good question. I'd say probably Spawn, dude. Yeah. Seems he has more magic power than Hellboy. Yeah. I would say so, yeah. Hellboy's probably gonna lose. Hellboy already died, dude. He's already in hell, Spawn's still kicking. I mean, I guess that would probably sort of answer the question, but not really. But there's a lot of more magic and stuff in Spawn, like hell magic. There's in Hellboy too, but but yeah. I haven't drawn Hellboy in a while either. It's been years. Get to a point where you're like too afraid to draw the characters, so I don't want to like fuck them up, But now I'm like, yeah, I'll give him another crack because you start to learn things, you level up, You're like Neo on the Matrix. I know how to draw biceps now, or I know shading. I could crosshatch. I know lighting now. But in that, it's more these little tiny things you do in your art that you can't explain. You just start picking things up that you see and you throw it out there. It just comes from repetition and inspiration and will to force yourself to draw. That's the hard part. You have to make yourself draw. It's those days where you don't want to draw and make yourself draw. Those are the days that you start to see more. Yeah, you see more of yourself leveling up. Those are the ones that count the most. Not the days that you want to draw. The days that you do not want to draw. That's when you start leveling up and you push through and the magic happens. That's what I think. Yeah. It's all about the days you don't want to draw. That's when you start seeing some magic. Yeah, you just got to pick something. Don't give yourself 5 minutes and just pick something. And if the last thing if you only want to draw a flower, then draw that flower. Draw that flower with spikes on it in a friggin' Venus flytrap mouth and cloudy day. With the wind blowing and lightning and papers flying around. You can make it fun. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. Give yourself 5 minutes. Nothing comes to you. There's got to be something. Some image is going to pop up in your head, even if it's not something you want to draw. Make yourself draw it. Even if it sucks, even if it comes out whack, just do it. Get uncomfortable with being, with that. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because 9 out of 10 times when I force myself to draw stuff, yeah, it comes out good in the end. I feel better. And you got whiteout too, so you can always go back and redraw it. Don't be afraid to use the whiteout or the white paint. I got this shit right here. It's pretty good. This thing's like 10 or 15 years old, and I'm just now using it. I just found it in the cabinet. Dr. Martin's white airbrush white paint. Works really good. I used it on one of my other books. I wanted to draw like a curtain with like a monster behind it, and I needed to have some white, a different tone of white I wanted, And this one came out. The color when it dried, it actually looked like that. Like this yellowish kind of whitish color. So it was perfect for like a sheet or a curtain. So then I got that and I rubbed it in, and you could see for an effect, you could see the monster like bleeding through. Yeah. And then I would get it wet, and then it would just kind of come right off. So I kept messing with it, you know. Yeah, you just gotta, get messy, take big swings, take risks. You should be kind of taking risks on everything, even if it's stuff you really like. Like, oh, I like this piece. Try new things. They're never gonna happen unless you make them happen. Like in anywhere in life, it's never gonna happen until you make it happen that day, and it's never a good day. There's never a good day to do anything in life, ever at all. If you ever want to do something, you have to do it when you don't want to do it. That's the only way shit's gonna get done. It's never a good time. The best time is the worst time. There's always a reason not to, but never a reason to. Hey, I want to bun a sketchbook, but what paper should I get? You get Bristol, so it's nice and thick like this if you can, but you don't have to have it. And if you're just sketching paper with pencil, you don't need thick old paper like this. That's only if you're going to put ink on it. Like, I got a little sketchbook right here. Let me show you. I can't show too much though, because it'll spoil like some of the work some of the characters I'm working on. But let me see here. I got this one at Hobby Lobby. Or no, I got this one at the $5 store. It's called the Five Below. They had a bunch of them, and I should have bought more. But this paper is pretty thin, Holds up great though. It's got this nice wood look to it. Soft touch, 96 pages. That's good. It's got that little strap on there to close it. I'm using this just for character design and notes, character and location designs. Just pop in my head for just miscellaneous anything. Like, there's no rules for this one. I'm gonna get a bunch of sketchbooks. I like it's the whole idea, whole theory of having tons of sketchbooks. I think it's important for different things. This one I got at Walmart. I like this one. This one's for just for characters for sword and sorcery and fantasy. I'm just doing pencil in here, but I think it might be able to hold the black. But they have really good ones from Japan that are Bristol, have Bristol board on it. You can't show that guy. Like right here, I did my King Krom design on here. I designed his crown, just pencil, I did that one back in December, I think. So I got that guy. I got to do more designs too. I got a bunch of spoilery stuff in here. What else do I got? Oh yeah, I was designing a dude in here last night, a vampire. I'm gonna have vampires in my book, but they're gonna be a little different. I'm trying to come up with new wing designs because everybody's done the same type of wing. Everyone's got the same wing design on all their vampires and man bats, and trying to come up with different stuff. I did it once already though, in one of the books I'm working on. Now I'm trying to do it. The one for a vampire book. Do you color some of your drawings? I used to do I used to have some like Primo colors. Primo, I forgot the name of it. They're little like kind of like the Copics that everyone uses. I did that one time. But now I'm thinking I might just I might start. I have Clip Studio, and I might just start doing some designs on there. I might start scanning in some of my pencils and then coloring them on there, coloring them in Clip Studio, and then doing turnarounds. I don't know. I haven't really drawn too much in Clip Studio. I messed around with the what's it called? The the chalk. I like the chalk in there and like the charcoal. I think those are great. Yeah, but I might start doing that. I was thinking about doing a comic book on Clip Studio as well. Yeah, because there's different. You have to make comics and work on art at different times. You got to find times of the day. When you're at work on your lunch break, you're out in your car, you can pull out the sketch pad, or you could put this in your car. One of these will fit in there, and you could work on comic book pages. You have to make time. You have to find those little 15 minutes. And sometimes in that lunch break at work in your car, that 15 minutes, you'll get more work done doing that than 15 hours of comic book. Like the work that you can do in that time will be so seminal. And sometimes you'll be thinking forever, and you'll just have like artist block or something like that. But yeah, you can really knock stuff out in like 15 minutes if your brain is really in tune right there. Let's see here. Yeah, I have them. Yeah. I have, and they look like dog shit, but I don't have them with me right now, but I have one of them that I printed in one of my old comics of one of my characters. Let me see if I got it right here. Yeah, see, they look like shit, and like now I can draw them way better. So this was like some of the characters I did. That's 5 Points Fitzpatrick. I did him. That's El Dia, this like bandito from my Butch Cleaver story. There's a Raw Meat Ren. He's from that. I got this Mothman character, and I draw like little notes on the side. But that's with the colors. Bunch of stuff, concept art. Yeah. Butch Cleaver. It's one of my characters. It's that right there. Yeah. So I did start out like that, This was from like 2000. So 2014, it looks like or 2011, I inked that, and then I put the time I colored it. So that was 19, I colored that one. Looks like, yeah. It's weird. So I signed it twice so I would know what time I inked it and what time I colored it. And then I would sign it in the color that I did. Yeah. There's one of Butch Cleaver with his rag mask. And these are some zombified voodoo dolls. And I did that on the back of like a schedule from work. You could see kind of like the cells from there bleeding through. I was always working on shit, I think it was 19. I'd have to go back and like look at the pictures. But I got a lot of these characters like from back in the day, and some of these characters I drew in a book before that, and then I came back and redrew them. Yeah. I think it's 2011. It has to be 2011. Yeah, it's 2011 because I printed my first Butch Cleaver in 2016, so that's a long time. I was jamming in 2011, man. Most of those characters too I created while I was barbecuing and bumping metal. I have two other sketchbooks, those black ones you get. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Stinky Willie? Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate that, man. 2019. Yeah, it was a while ago. I'm not 19. I'm 42. So I'm pretty old. Almost 43. See, I'm here messing around for 3 hours, and I still didn't finish this. It take forever. Some people could have done this in 2 hours. It takes me 16 hours. That's one thing. I'm not a fast drawer, but I do know what love is. That was from Forrest Gump. I don't know if you guys seen that movie. All right. When I first colored it, I think it was like 2000. I think it was 2014. A few years after that, because I had the colors because I was going to do the book, and I was going to color the book because I colored. But this is Butch Cleaver too. I taught myself how to color. And by the time I got to the end of the book, my coloring got even better. See, that's my character HELWÄR. This is a book I put out now, but I'm doing it. He doesn't look like, it's not like this. It's a black and white. But I needed to know what the color was, you know. And this book's black and white. But this was like one of the first. This is like the third version I did, because originally I was going to have the book in color. Then I decided, no, I want to do it all black and white. I want to make it real metal and dirty and grimy. This is HELWÄR now. This is a book I got on Kickstarter. Viking, heavy metal Viking bounty hunter. So I think this is better. I got better. Yep. I like black and white more too. Coloring takes a long time as well. I would rather probably paint a book than color it on the computer. But you know what? To be honest though, like now I don't even like coloring like that. I like doing flat colors from like the 80s. Really basic, like couple colors on each page. You know, just flats. Let the inks do the work. You know. I think it looks better. And then all the tones and stuff like that you could do now with zipatones and shit. Just like the old school flat colors. I love that. Love it. And then the paper, the creamy paper. Oh, man. That and the black and whites. Oh, that's where it's at. And then make your comics like magazine size. Or even A4, like over in Europe or in England. That's what's up. You can make a pinup book with all these character battles. Oh, yeah, huh? I probably could. Yeah, I got a couple of them now. You guys go vote on the channel and the community if you want. Push your art up in there, too. For the Metal Cartoonist, BATT MURK. If you can go vote for my next match, it's going to be my character HELWÄR versus, you vote for Lobo, Hulk, or Thor, which is it's like a zombie Thor. It's called Ragnarok Thor. If you can, that'd be cool. I put it up on Twitter, and then I put the actual link in the community tab. So that's the thing, man. Like YouTube's got the pretty cool. I think that community tab is pretty badass. Keeps things kind of more niche, you know. Even more niche than Twitter. So like if Drawn Sword posts something in his community tab, and I go in there, I could comment, and same thing over here. We kind of just get that. You don't have to scroll through all the bullshit on Twitter or wherever other site you're at, you know. I like that. I think it's cool. And you could talk more too, like when you're in the community, you could talk that, you could post on, I don't know, it seems like you could just kind of connect with people more on Twitter now in some ways. Maybe not DMs, but you could still hit each other up. You could DM each other on Twitter though, or email. But I think that's the better way to do the community thing, personally. Because then you do the live streams too. That's another way, and you can just talk to them straight up right there, like we're doing now. Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping I finished this, but again, speed is not my friend. But it is what it is. But I'm probably gonna head out now. We've been going about 3 hours. I'm gonna try to watch a little something. It's not too late over here. I think it's like 1 a.m. I gotta double check. I'm gonna watch a little something. But thanks all you guys for hanging and stopping by and whatnot. You know, that's really awesome. And then I'm probably gonna do another one of these on next Wednesday night, and Tuesday I'll be doing a barbarian brunch show. So we'll be covering everything barbarian, sword and sorcery, and fantasy. So I'm gonna have I got some stuff lined up for that. And I'll be looking for more. And that'll be a 30-minute to an hour show. And we might have an artist on co-hosting, talking about their art, or maybe their books coming out, or it's on their store or a campaign or something. I'm doing that now, so I'm having guests on too for that as well. And I'll definitely be shilling up a little bit of my book, HELWÄR, because it's in campaign mode right now. But yeah, guys, thanks again for watching. I hope you have a phenomenal weekend. I know it's Friday for most of you guys. Yep. Really appreciate it. It's important you guys are here. I thank you. Always remember to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know your role. I'll see you guys next time. And remember, if the artist isn't starving, then the artist is not hungry. Keep it metal, guys.